What's up, y'all? Dutchy420 here, back with another video. Today I will be showing you how to set up a chest turret and how to set up a mini AFK spawn farm around the chest. That way you can either AFK the chest or get jewels from the chest easier, or money or eggs or whatever you may be using it for, as well as a little bit of cubes for yourself to turn into Shadow Shark. Yeah, well, with that, let's get into it. So first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to either build your way over to like one of these little islands that are one layer lower, or like you want to go pretty much what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up wanting to go either into this island or the one that I saw at first across from there that I showed from the main chest on the other side. But be careful, because that island, it can sometimes spawn mobs, so it's a little bit better to probably go for this one. And pretty much what you want to do is, if you got plenty of metal, I would suggest doing metal, because they do tend to break sometimes with zombies and other things like the wasp that are now added, well, the fireflies, whatever you want to call them, the things that hover around and attack you when you get too close. So before they were added into the game, you actually used to be able to just set it up one layer like this and then just be one layer lower all around. But now that they're in the game, they break the floors around them, so I'd like to go 2 layers lower, to be honest, because it makes it easier. It makes it way easier, to be honest. That way, if anything breaks, the zombies can also get killed, and you don't have to worry about them, surviving or doing damage to any more structures, or just falling out of the map and wasting away and not getting anything for it. So I start on one of these platforms, and I always put support under it to make sure that it's not going to just fall if it happens to break. And then just kind of layer it out on the floor. I'm 2 layers down, by the way. And of course the blood moon's gonna spawn in on me. What luck, right? What's the odds of that? It never gives me a blood moon when I want it to, but when I don't want it to, it's like, yep. You want to put little walls around your edges too, that way like, kind of like a barrier to keep it in. It's gonna be like pretty much a bowl. A square bowl when you're done. It's gonna look like a big square bowl. Whoops, didn't want to do that. So, seeing how I'm not prepared for this blood moon, I'm probably just going to weasel myself into the bank. That way you don't have to worry about getting hit for the time being. While they spawn and all that. They'll probably destroy a couple of things, knowing them. So, I can always fix another one after. Anyways, while that's happening, the glide didn't come out. That was weird. I didn't glitch it or nothing. But yeah, if you ever want to just like not get hit with the blood moon active, you can just kind of like stay behind this bank wall or on this area, but just to kind of put spike floors down and all that, that way it kills them. Doesn't hurt to kill them. It's just a pain in the ass sometimes as well, because there's so many zombies that can just kind of like annoy you. I know I have max coin. I might have to buy something. That's a pain in the ass too. You're telling me I'm not reaching with the wheel. Okay. That was kind of weird. But yeah, as you can see, how I said earlier, that mob spawn over there. The big brutes definitely spawn on that island behind it that's raised up. And then there's some that spawn on that little one too. So you gotta be careful if you do use that side. Always put a spike down first on that island and go later on anyways, because you're gonna have to worry about the stuff that spawns there afterwards in the game. And I don't know how it is now. I don't know if he changed it, Sven. But I do know originally when he put the wasp in, it was like every 500 hits on the chest spawn 1 wasp. So it was like really annoying, because it was spawning so frequently that if you killed it, you'd have to worry about killing it again after so many hits. And they would break all the floors around them, which is like the biggest pain in the ass. But yeah, we'll wait until this blood moon's over, and then I'll show you some more continue along the way. Like, how many shots does it take to kill a zombie? That's wild. Go away, zombie. Sheesh. So before we start, I'm gonna have to go use my money real quick and buy some sunbeam. And there's still a glitch going along where creative has the infinite symbols on stuff that has X amount that's like higher up. Excuse me. Like for instance, I'll show you like the raptor eggs, because I have so much of them. It says infinite, but it's not infinite. And like for the money symbol, it's infinite, but it's not infinite. Obviously I'm maxed out. But if I drop my money, you would see that it would actually drop half the amount, not just like continuously be all back. Like if it was infinite, when you drop it or split it, you would still have max or something. Or it wouldn't change the amount you have, per se. But it does, it actually goes by what you have for money, and it's not like set up to be infinite, like it says it is, oddly enough. Alright, so pretty much, we're gonna end up doing this after, but I'm gonna do it now just so I can put a bounce pad out. Whoops, I forgot I had the stairs backwards. But yeah, afterwards we're gonna build this, but I'll go over that after, so that way you don't have to worry about that now. So just kind of ignore me putting this here for now. When it's needed, I'll tell you. I'll tell you guys how to do it and where to do it and all that. This is not what we're gonna be doing after. I'm just putting this here for now so I can put a bounce pad so I can get around. I have OCD, so I don't like using the first ones that are full. I always go to the end to get the ones that are like worn out a little bit, already used. Because it drives me bonkers. I hate using the ones that are full and having odd numbers and stuff. Am I even gonna make that? That's gonna be a tight call. Land. Perfect. Now, what I like to do over here, because sometimes you'll glitch through the portal and it'll shoot you off the backside. So I put a 2-layer of floors out, like 2 wide, around the whole thing. That way if it shoots you out the back, you land on one of these and you don't actually like die to your death. Makes it a little bit more easier. And then after when you're done putting the 2 layers, if you want to be safe, you just put a bounce pad at the end. Makes it a lot easier that way, like I said. Actually, I don't want to put it on that side because I'm going to have to use it again after, so I'll stick it on this side where I'm going to need it. Wish I had my hot rocks, but it's not really a need of them, to be honest. Now, there's a couple of ways you can actually buy metal if you want to buy metal safely and not like get attacked. Whoa, why is there a wolf in here? And how did I land on him perfectly? That was kind of weird. Alright, you're getting out of the pool. Yo. Hey, yo. I said out. Go fight. I don't want that wolf, so I'll let it fight until it dies, pretty much, I guess. I think it's annoying, I'm not gonna lie. So as you can see, this has use vending machine, but it also has interact on it. When you look at it a certain way, the front sign has the interact. The interact is the one you want to use, not use vending, because the use vending machine is just going to infinitely do that. It's going to take 5 metal from you to give you 5 metal, which means you're gaining absolutely nothing. But if you walk on the edge, on the right spot, just a little bit, and you angle it, you can actually see that you can hit the, hold on, right there, interact button. That way they can't hit you, the zombies and whatnot can't hit you, but you can actually interact with it and get all the metal you need without worrying about them hitting you and all that. But it's a pain in the ass sometimes, because like, if you try using like a mouse and it moves just a centimeter off sometimes, you have to keep kind of like leveling it to get it again. But yeah, I'm gonna fill up my metal. Well, not fill it up, but I'll put it up quite a bit. That way I don't have to worry about it later. And then I'm gonna go get my sunbeam real quick after that. Drop my max money down so I don't waste all the money I'm earning. But yeah, it's just a nifty little trick for anybody that wants to get metal in the mass amounts. If you play on PlayStation and you want like max metal and it's way too slow for you and you want to go faster, you can plug in a USB mouse on your PlayStation, like an actual USB one, and go into your settings. And pretty much what I'll show you in a second what you can do, but it makes it 100 times easier. As you can see, I'm spamming metal by. And I'll show you exactly how to do that with a USB mouse on PlayStation in a second. Let me just get what I'm trying to buy first real quick. So I have to lay a lot more metal down, so I know I'm going to use quite a bit of it. So buying max, I'm not really going to waste it when it comes, like drops and stuff. Don't ask me why I just did that. That was kind of dumb. Alright, so you can have on PlayStation mouse and keyboard and the actual controller at the same time. And you can use whichever one you want. So when you go into your settings, you got keyboard controls, which is the mouse and keyboard, and then you got the actual controller controls. But if you set up a USB mouse into your little USB slot of your PlayStation, just so that way you can mass buy stuff and make it easier, all you gotta do is go into here, and then you'll see right here where it says use under combat, and literally all you have to do is set it up as the mouse wheel. You scroll your mouse wheel down for one of them, and then you scroll it up on the other side. As you can see, I got mouse wheel down on the left, mouse wheel up on the right as a secondary. So basically what that means is if I turn on my USB mouse and I scroll it up or down, it will stop buying the metal or whatever's in the machine. And when they have that little hologram projected out front like that, that means you can mass buy it, as in it won't be one click at a time going very slow. You can actually like spam by it with the wheel of the mouse and actually get it insanely fast, like I was doing with the metal. That was literally what I was doing. So you saw how fast the metal was going there. Sunbeam is the same thing. You could do it with a mouse, just like that too. Infinite metal, already got it next. I like doing this to zombies, they're annoying. Come on, gather around, little buddies. They died. See ya. Damn, bro, these zombies get stuck on them all the time. Like, they all around and they always clutter up. And of course, my glue gun's about to break, so I don't even want to use that right now. And yes, with glue guns, if you don't kill them at 0 and you load into a new lobby, it'll give you 200 ammo again. That's the only way you can get them without breaking literally like every game. You know, it restores the next. But yeah, the little hologram out front interact, like I said. And then you just kind of spam the mouse wheel up or down. And you see? Simple. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, you know? Goes wicked quick this way too. That way you don't have to worry about tiring out your fingers spamming the square button or whatever you have it as, you know, whatever console. If you can use a mouse on whatever console you're on, no matter what it is, then, you know, you're good to go. It still does take a while, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot faster than using just a regular controller option, though. 100%. Sorry, it's definitely taking a minute, but that's because I have so much to buy. I hate it because it takes so long sometimes. You know, I wish it was just like one click, trade all for all, or like trade X amount, or like whatever amount of gold that you get for it. I mean whatever amount of sunbeam you get for the gold. Be a lot easier. And then that's pretty much all there is to it, you know? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we're gonna go back and continue to build. Ooh, first I'm gonna take care of these zombies though. Alright. In that metal bridge. Alright, so we make our way back. Like I said, ignore the building I did over here for now. On this little piece right here. Ignore that for now until like later on when we need it. But yeah, oh shit, I forgot about the train point. My bad. But yeah, no, you're gonna go back to your spikes. Like I said, metal if you have it. It's always easier to use metal. Because, like, less wear and tear, more health. Especially when the brutes try landing on them, you know. But yeah, you're basically just gonna even it out to wherever you want it. Usually I go make it even to the wall of the island. And to the wall of the house, like the rock wall. And I go along that side to that wall. You'll see, because I'm about to do it. But it's always easier when you give yourself extra space. I always put some traps along the rock walls, make it easier. The more traps you have, ultimately, the better off you'll be. Or at least that's how I look at it. And remember, you're going to want to set up a layer above this too. It's not going to just be one layer. It's going to be this layer, then the layer above it, and then you're going to want to make one final layer. But it's not going to be above it, it's going to be on the outer edge. Like, you'll see as I go. It's hard to explain, but once I show it, you'll probably grab the concept a lot better. Explaining is a little bit difficult. Usually I don't really set up the ceiling pieces above me yet. I'll set them up as floor pieces and then come back down to put like the spikes on the ceiling part. Because you can ultimately kill the zombies with just floor pieces. And if you put them down as the ceiling pieces above you, zombies will crawl on top and like damage them sometimes. So it's always easier to set them down as the floor pieces after you're done setting up this way. Now, I don't know if, Sven, I don't know if he kind of, like, nerfed the wasp that he put in, like, to make them less frequent, because he said he might end up doing that last time we heard. But the only way to find out is to literally, I guess, hit the test and see what happens, you know? gotta be careful because this rock right here is where the wasps usually spawn, and like this wolves usually spawn there. So what I do is I leave this piece out above this piece out. I mean, you can do it how you want, but that's what I do. But again, you can put the first layer, you can put the pieces here, but I'm talking about on the second layer, like the one that's equal to the rock, like just the same height as it. But for the bottom layer, it doesn't hurt to put these in. You can put those in. And I'll put a floor piece there for now, just to kill anything that drops on it, because it's annoying trying to set up stuff with that. What the hell? Why is this here? Shouldn't have been standing there. Actually, you know what? That's gonna drive me nuts. I'm definitely gonna set it back once it was even. I just kind of followed the wall, you know, the line. Like if this goes against the rock, I kind of like go out a little bit just to follow that. So I guess you could just alter it as you see fit. Like I said, I go against this rock, left this rock, and then over here I went back some. Actually, nah. To be honest with you, I line this side up. It's a little bit easier if you line this side up with that rock wall instead of putting it back to this balloon. But yet again, like I said, you can do it however you want. But the way I do it is the way I'm used to. So I'm just gonna set it up the way I'm used to, that I do it for myself. And if you want to do it the same way, cool. If not, it's alright. You know how I feel. Just do whatever you're comfortable with. And just to clarify, this is not going to give you like a ridiculous amount of cubes, like if you were just farming cubes. But it's a nice little split between cubes and like farming the chest for money or llama jewels or whatever you want, pretty much, like to farm. Or if you just want to AFK farm the chest, it still gives you AFK like cubes along the way that you can exchange at the end as long as you're paying attention. Because if the game ends and you don't exchange them, you're not going to get those cubes. Well, the shadow shards. Once the game ends and you leave the lobby, anything that you have in your inventory that's not turned in, you lose. Like all of these. And if you're new and you don't know how to turn them in, basically all you have to do is go back to the main chest up here, and it will boot automatic. Oh, my bad, I didn't mean to do that. Like that, you just kind of like hover near the main chest, or you know, like stand near it, and that's what it'll do. Turn them right into shadow shards. That way you don't have to worry about losing them. Now, see how they damage it because there's no spike on this yet? That's why I said I don't really place the floor, the ceiling tiles. I put them down as floors like I'm doing now. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy. But yeah, you just, you know, do the same thing. Follow the same thing that you did below on this level. Usually I used to just put this level in and not the one below, but like I said, them wasps, they kind of screw everything up. So I had to start altering and adjusting based off that. It's a little bit easier sometimes to just place the floor down first and then just spike them out. It's like a weird angle, like you put the floors down when you have already a lower layer. That's why I do it the way I do it, you know? Makes it a little bit easier. Well, not a little, a lot easier to be honest. Damn zombie messed me up, made me put a wall. But yeah, in the long run, I know it's a little bit of a setup, but just think, you don't have to leave the spawn area to farm, because, you know, you're right here. And the setup will make it a lot easier on yourself, because you won't really have to touch it throughout the game. It should stay intact for the most part, except for the part where the hive is, like I said, that little bee wasp thing, or whatever. Like I said, I'll test that out, like how bad it is after I'm done putting all this in, just to see if it got switched around a bit, or how often it spawned it, or whatever. We'll find out one way or another, you know. And what I like to do also, every now and again, like, instead of just putting all the stuff up, I kind of try to make a little bit of a thing to build off of right there. That way when I'm done with my wall pieces on this section and the whole floor area, I can make the outer edges like I said earlier. Like, I'll show you, that way you guys can get it a little bit easier, because it's hard to explain, you know. It really is. It's like hard to explain the concept, but like when you see it, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like I said, it may take a bit to set this up, but it's well worth it. 100%. Hands down, it's well worth it. So this is the island where the wasps spawn and shit. So you don't really want to put one here, or here, or here. Basically anything right on top of it, like side by side with it, you don't want to put. But you could put it diagonal instead. Diagonal's good. Right on top is bad. Like side by side, parallel and stuff, that's bad. Like back here, this one, this one, this one. But diagonal is perfectly fine. 100%. Because they usually don't cross over or break those. So you just kind of like, you know, build around it. And then don't forget, after you do this, you have to go back underneath and place the spikes on the ceiling. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, it's not like something that you mandatorily have to 100% do. But it just makes it easier if any groups get down there, because, you know, it's like double protection. Pops them a lot easier and faster, that way they die. Especially for like flooding. If they stop breaking floors and stuff, you know, it's just kind of like a safety net. Like I said, you can set it up however you want, but I do it this way because it's kind of like foolproof. You don't have to worry about it like breaking a lot or anything. And usually I dig up that trap on that little piece of island, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't really feel the need to do it this game, to be honest. I want to see something. I want to see if I want to see actually how long it lasts, like without me digging it up, and see if it actually kills them easily, you know. Because I know usually traps didn't hurt them when I tried the last time, because they kind of like fly or hover in the air or whatever. But you can shoot them, so I don't know. It's just kind of testing the theory right now at this point. I'm gonna see what it does. That's all. It's not anything special. Just trial and error. Which is basically the whole game. Man, I didn't even do that. But yeah, pretty much you're gonna set it up just like the bottom layer, you know, you're gonna follow suit with everything. Make it the same thing. We'll do the outer edges after we do this. I come down here, set up all these. Should go a lot smoother once you have it all set up, because all you have to do is put the traps. Makes it way easier. It's a lot less of a hassle than trying to place them from underneath. Like floor pieces and all, you know, or ceiling pieces and all, I should say. Like I said, you will run through a good amount of traps, and probably like metal if you do this right, the same way I do. Like as you saw, I maxed out my metal and I got like 96, well almost 97k left. So I guess it's not that bad that I just pretty much almost went through like 2k metal. Or I guess you could say I pretty much did like use 2k because before I bought more I actually placed a couple of the pieces down already. So yeah, you know. It's worth it though, it really is. Or at least I say so. Okay, they're trying to break them from above, I hate that. That's why I said usually I don't put the ceiling first, I do the floor first, that way the spikes will be able to kill them. Pain in the ass boot. Like I said, you're not going to get an abundance of cubes unless like Blood Moon happens or something. But it's still a pretty good combo if you want to farm the chest. I gotta specify that way, like, you know, in case somebody missed the first time I said it or whatever. Because a lot of people think like, oh, well, I should be getting a lot more than this, like, what's going on, like, you know, but certain farms give you certain amounts. It just depends how they're set up, or what you're trying to accomplish, or, you know, stuff like that. Now, as you can see, we got our second layer set up, our first layer is all done. Now, usually what I do is, I like to start over here on this side first. I'll come over here to this little island right here. And I'll start laying them out 2 layers out, depending, but like some places I do more than 2. I lay it out accordingly to whatever side I'm on though. Makes it a lot easier. Give me just 1 second. Trying to catch up with chat. Just let me get into the chat first, please. I don't know why, but the app's being so slow today. Bro, I wish I could, but I don't. I only have 1 shockwave. And I had to buy that. I appreciate you subbing and all that though, I really do, but if I had an extra one, I would definitely give it to you 100%, because I don't mind. I usually do that. But unfortunately, I had to buy that for a lot of Sunbeam. A lot of people are buying them and dumping them into the void because people are duplicating them. Get what, the shockwave or the Sunbeam? If you want Sunbeam, you have to get money to buy the Sunbeam, which you could do by AFK farming or setting up zombie farms. Basically, alright, so last update, when they added the eggs and all that from the main chest, they changed the loot pool. Before that, the loot pool used to give you a legendary shockwave launcher if you were lucky, like if you got it for a drop from hitting the chest. But now you can't get no shockwaves, like they took them all out. So the only way you can literally get a shockwave launcher now is if you go into like Discord servers and trade. So basically like Sven's Discord, the owner of the map, if you go to his Discord, there's a trading section that you might be able to get one. But people are selling like legendary shockwaves for like 7k Sunbeam. And like, I mean mythic shockwaves for like 7k Sunbeam or more. And that's because a lot of people, they're duplicating them. So when they duplicate the shockwaves, it pretty much increases how many shockwaves there are out and makes it less rare. So what people are doing is they're not selling their shockwaves now because the people are buying them, they're throwing them into the void. That way there's less of them for people to duplicate. So pretty much you got one side that's duplicating them and making the game less like, you know, the economy of the game is like going to hell because the money aspect is like ruined because they're making too many of them. And then you got the other side, which is buying them just to throw them into the void, which means like down there off the cliff. That way nobody gets them and they disappear. So pretty much like they're trying to stop dupers by buying up all the shockwaves and throwing them into the void. So because people are doing that, nobody wants to sell their shockwaves no more because they're pretty much being bought just to throw them out. That's why it's very hard to find them. The only time you can actually like find a shockwave launcher now is if somebody really has a couple of them that they don't want one and they're willing to pirate and sell it. Or if somebody duplicates them and has like many of them to give away or like tree. That's the only way you can pretty much get them. Unfortunately, I gave my legendary one to somebody that was in need a while back. They didn't even ask for it, but they were saying how they couldn't afford one. So, I just told them, I was like, here, like, you know, like, tried to be nice and stuff. If I still had it, I would definitely give it to you, bro. I'm not greedy or anything like that. Like, I try to help people sometimes. But yeah, all the stuff I got, I worked so hard to get. So as I said, I kind of go around two layers, but back here in this area, I like to make it to the castle because a lot of zombies tend to spawn back here, especially in like blood moon and stuff like that. So it's worth it kind of extending it a bit. Stupid cursor. Another thing that's nice about using a mouse on PlayStation, if you use one, you can actually grab that little drag bar that's underneath the traps, and you can actually slide it to wherever you want. That way you don't have to scroll left and right. It makes it a lot easier. Oh, and that's another thing. Anybody that tries to get a shockwave bow, that's never gonna happen. People hide their shockwave bows because they don't want them to get duplicated like the shockwave launches. Like, I know somebody, my friend, who has been playing this game since like beta, and he didn't get a shockwave bow because he just wasn't online the day they got changed. So he's been trying to buy one, and he has max resources, like max a lot of stuff, because he's been grinding this game out non-stop since like beta. That shockwave launcher isn't going nowhere, buddy. This thing is my baby. Like, literally my baby. I spent so much time making sure I didn't die with this gun. Like, this gun, I always said, like, this gun is going nowhere. Like, I'm not selling this thing. It's the only one I got. Nah. How are you gonna try to hound me for a shockwave launcher, bro? I've been trying to be so nice to tell you how to get them. I told you, just join the server and try to buy one. All you gotta do is join the server on Discord, then server, and then literally go into the trade section and just say that you're trying to buy one, and I'm sure there's someone somewhere that's willing to sell one. There's people out there with hundreds of them. I literally only got one. Like I said, everything in this game, I never got handed to me. I literally had to work hard for it. If only you knew how many hours it took me to grind out to get that shockwave. And just to give it away, I can't do that, bro. That's the one gun that I'll never sell. There's only two things I want in this game. I got one of them. The Jules Grappler Gun, Jules Glider Gun, I mean, which I already got. And a Shockwave Bow, which I'll never get. Because nobody is ever gonna part with this. If you're talking about the Jules Glider Gun, you have to go do the llama riddle. Or try to trade the llama in, and the llama will give you one if you're lucky, like, rarely. But you have to go do the llama riddle, which is over near the blue balloon. It's out that way. Like... Pretty much, alright. I already told you how I got the launcher. I bought it off of somebody for a lot of Sunbeam. A lot of Sunbeam. Well, more than what it was. I can't say it's a lot of Sunbeam as in like max Sunbeam or something, but what the thing that people don't understand is since alright, people used to alright, so people ruined the actual trading cap for Sunbeam. Now basically the cap for Sunbeam is you can go as high as you want with it, but there's a problem. God damn this cursor. I hate this cursor. This thing's so annoying. Alright, so I got 22k Sunbeam, right? If I got 51,000 and I think it's like, what is it? 51,000.29 or something like that. I don't know. Basically under 52k, like 51,000 and some odd Sunbeam is the max you can get. If you get anything over that, not physically max, but like that's the cap that you're supposed to have. If you get anything over that, it will slowly drain your Sunbeam out of your inventory until it hits that number. So basically, if you got like 53k Sunbeam, you'll slowly lose it until it goes down to 51,000 some odd Sunbeam. Because people were trading when the max was like 2.1 bill, and they were selling it for real life money, like to other people. And Sven, the owner of the map, he hates real life trading. Like that's on the server, that's a no-go. Like that right there is automatic grounds to get kicked out of the server. So because everybody was trying to sell it for like real life money to other players in different servers, not his server but different servers and stuff, he traded the cap down. That way people can't have a max of anything higher than like 52k pretty much. So like before that it was easier to get like shockwave bows or a launcher because you actually had a lot of Sunbeam to work with. Now it's like you can't because you would have to have like 7 alts just to get a shockwave bow or offer for a shockwave bow, because people don't want to sell their bows, so they'll only sell it for like literally 500 like mil, well 500 like bill Sunbeam or whatever, like stacks on stacks on stacks, 500 mil Sunbeam, whatever it is, I don't know. Like even then you're lucky if you got one. People don't want to part with their bows. There's only a handful of people that actually got shockwave bows or launchers. And the only reason they got them is because back in the day, when they were actually part of this game still, where you could go buy them or get them from the main chest, they actually picked them up the day they found out that they were going to be removed. So they got them in advance, before Sven removed them from the game. And then when you removed them, the people that had them, they stood in their inventories. That's the only reason why some people have those. Same thing with the shockwave launches. But the shockwave launches were a little more common because people were duplicating them, so there was a bunch of them in rotation. A lot more people used the launches than the bows. The problem is the bow, you can get a long range on the bow for like trolling people and stuff. The launcher on the other hand doesn't go that far. But the launcher is still good for getting around and like trolling people if they're trying to troll you. It's not a bad gun regardless. If I can find, I'll tell you what, if I can find somebody that's selling a shockwave launcher, if I come across anybody, I will definitely get you one, if I can. I'm not going to make no promises though, because I haven't seen anybody selling them, because there's a lot of people that's been trying to buy them. But if I do get my hands on one, I will definitely try to give you one. I don't really have nothing else I can buy right now, that's why. But again, there's future updates that come in, and there's new items and stuff, so it's not like I want to drain all my resources. Because you never know in the future what's going to get added. And who knows, maybe one day he'll put the shockwave bows back, you know? You never know. Alright, so now, after all this is set up, you want to come up here, build a wall. You have to make sure something's connected down here though, like how I have the wall piece over here. Because usually if they ain't connected, you can't really build with it, you know? So I usually put wall pieces into a rock to be safe. But yeah, you build a wall over there on that corner in front, and then a staircase. And now what you want to do is you put a floor here at the top, a floor here, and then you put it out this way, going straight to the chest. And what you want to do is you want to go over to the chest until you're 1 square away from it, literally 1 square. And then what you want to do after that is just literally make a box underneath it. I'm going to delete some of this layer, this just so I can actually fix the box a bit. And you want to open up this front piece, or you can open up the floor piece or whatever, but the front piece is a lot easier. And then you just kind of delete these. You're going to need something to get up there, like a launch pad, or a grappler gun, or a glider gun. And basically what you want to do is take it easy, man. Like I said, if I come across anything, I will definitely let you know, though. 100%. Now what you want to do is you want to go into this box right here. Or you can actually just walk on top, jump off, and grapple in like I just did pretty much. Except I used the grapple gun to get on top. And I usually, you don't need to do this because no zombies really even come in here at all. Like, there's no shot for them to get in. But I usually do it anyway just to be safe, because why not? I do live stream, but I usually switch between here and Twitch. So I'm like in between on one or the other. I took a little break because I've had some stuff going on IRL, but I'm starting to get back into it, so yeah. I'll definitely be live streaming more. Now what you want to do for the bottom piece, usually I put armored wall first. And then you can take one of these right here, the turrets. And now all you gotta do is, literally, you sit here. And you can either AFK it by turning a USB mouse on, holding down the button to fire, and then shutting the mouse off while the button's still held in. That way when the mouse shuts off, it thinks you're still pressing the button. And it will literally just shoot at the chest, you know? And then you can do this until you see a jewel pop out on top, or whatever. Depends whatever you're grinding for. You know? And zombies, when they come out, they'll jump off to come to you, and they'll hit the spike trap that's under you, because they can't reach you. So you get free cubes, and you get free chest hits. Not much more you can really ask for. Easy way to farm the llama if you pay attention, you know? But if you want to get money, or eggs, like farming eggs and money, you just do this. Good way to get both. And you can go like watch a TV show, or you know, watch YouTube videos or TikTok or whatever it is you guys do, you know. But if you want the llama, you have to sit here and watch for it, because when it appears, it highlights above the chest, like it spins around and it's like highlighted with a little bit of a beam of an aura. But the problem is it disappears pretty quick, like in a couple of minutes or so. So if you're not paying attention, you won't notice it and it'll kind of despawn. But yeah, that's literally all it is to it. Or if you don't have a USB mouse and you want to AFK the turret, if you're on PlayStation, all you gotta do is you hold down the fire button, and then you press, and then you hold in the PlayStation button. And the PlayStation button will bring up the little menu where it has like the quick menu, pretty much where it's close application, it says like close application, sounds and devices, and like Fortnite to end the application and all that. You can set up whatchamacallit. You can go to your friends, the power, the music, online status. But yeah, when you're holding the fire button and you holding the PlayStation button, it will bring up the quick menu and it will continue shooting as well. So just a couple of things. I was doing a 4 to 5 minute video, but when I get a live video and somebody comes into chat, I don't really just, you know, do that. This was just going to be a quick tutorial, but it turned into something completely different. I've been streaming for a while, man. Trust me, I know. Problem is, when I live stream, I can't really edit it out. Like I said, I'm live streaming on a PlayStation. I'm not on like a laptop, so it's a little bit more harder, a little bit more complicated to do. Not to mention, I also put in the timestamps in the comments. That way people can skip around and not have to go through certain things. Makes it a lot easier. But yeah, that's all there is to it. And I'll also show where the throne is for the llama, as well as like the riddle, in case anybody's interested in it and hasn't found it yet. I'm not going to give the answer out, obviously, because, you know, everybody had to find it for themselves, and we all struggled doing that, you know, so that's on you to do, pretty much, not me. I don't mind helping people, but that riddle answer is a no-go, 100%. So basically, you know, you just have to head over to the ice biome, over by the blue balloon. It's literally right over there. Once you get to the blue balloon, you'll notice it. You know, oh, yeah, I should have been paying attention a little bit more often. It's alright. I already exchanged all my cubes anyway. It's not a big deal. Usually I pay attention, but that one caught me off guard. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Good death is more like it. As you can see, the blue balloon is literally right there. It sucks. You should be able to sprint while you're building. I hate not being able to like run while you build. Especially if you're just putting floors under you and not building like crazy ramps and like spinning 5-star hotels and all that stuff. If you're being a sweat, then I kind of get why you can't run and do it, but if you're just putting down like a simple floor or something in like a creative mode like SkyBox, then I don't see why you can't have that option. But as you can see, the closer you get to the blue balloon, you see that little throne over there, the little ice throne. And what I like to do is before I hit the chest, I build this little scaffolding out to there. That way if, during the game, if I AFK'd or something, and I get, a llama jewel, I can easily just, you know, run this thing I built and go right to the throne and not have to take time building it afterwards, or chance dying in any way, shape, or form and losing it. Also with the gem, if you die and you fall into the void, you lose the llama gem. But if a zombie kills you, you don't lose it. It's only if you actually fall into like the void. But you also got, you can also take it with you to another lobby as well. Here's the throne for it, right here. You turn it in right here. And obviously these guys don't follow you up here, which is also nice. Then you got this chest. It's pretty good, decent, you know, loot. this right here, this message. The llama is hidden somewhere very deep in the main chest. In other words, 0.1% drop / hit on max upgrade, which means after 10k hits. But there's people in the server, Sven's server on Discord, like me, that has gotten at 7k hits. Like, at 7k plus hits, you can get it. But it's just, it comes out better with more of a chance after 10k. This right here says, when you turn in the llama jewel, the banks will be triggered 20 times for all players on the map, like in the game, if the jewel is returned to the throne. Some items can only be gained through the jewel, which means that you get some exclusive items sometimes. It's hit or miss, it's like gambling. When you turn in the llama jewel, you can either get like a blue drum shotgun or something that you can get in the game, or you can get something like the llama hammer, or something else that's not obtainable through the game unless you turn in the jewel. You can also get the Jules gliding gun if you solve the riddle, which I'll show you the riddle in a second. It also says, do not fall while carrying the jewel because it will be lost forever if you do. Holy, whoa, what the hell was that? Bro, how are you not dying? I shot you like 17 times. That was absurd. Alright, so this little rock over here on the left side, if you come along this side right here, this is the riddle. This is pretty much the thing you have to solve. Basically it says, when the blood moon rises and the nightmare takes its hold, jewels will dance on the rock. And a lot of people, all I'll say for a hint, I'm not going to give a hint like a crazy hint, but I'll tell you this. Do not overthink this riddle. If you overthink this riddle, you will drive yourself mad and you will miss the meaning of the riddle. It's such a simple answer. All you have to do is read the riddle and just kind of like dumb it down to yourself. Like, you know, don't take it out of context. Don't rack your brain trying to figure it out. Just read the words and read them carefully. That's all you have to do. You'll figure it out a lot easier that way. And that's the hint I'll give you, and I'll leave it there. And then if you got a glider gun or a grapple gun or something, or even a katana, which you can get from a llama as well, or you can get Sky's grapple gun or whatever, you can just literally swing yourself right back up to the scaffold. Or if you don't want to do all that and you don't have like monster cubes, you can either just, you know, respawn back to the main chest, or just jump off into the void, whichever. Doesn't really matter. Now, I will say this, there is a glitch currently that Sven will end up probably fixing at some point if he can figure out exactly how to fix it. When you turn in the llama gem, usually it'll give you 20 times, like, bank income. Kind of like if you use a time machine over in Iron City, how it says, like, bank income activated, bank income activated when you use the button multiple times. The gem will do the same thing for 20 times in a row, and it'll give you 20 times your bank income. But there's a glitch that sometimes the timer for the bank income will malfunction. And when it malfunctions, basically what it does is, it'll give you your bank income for pretty much the whole map. Or like 20 minutes instead of like 20 times. The timer miscalculates and does 20 minutes instead. And you literally non-stop get like max money or mats and stuff every now and again because of it. So if you see that glitch, don't really like freak out. Just, you know, enjoy it. Pretty much. Look at all that loot. That's wild. This is all my cubes from last time. That's crazy. Might as well collect it, why not? But yeah, as for, a lot of people have been asking where the electric bars went. The half bar, the full bar for the electric bars. You can't get them anymore, they're out of the game. Then kind of removed them from the shops. So the only way you can get them is if somebody already has them in their inventory. Or if somebody's willing to drop you some. Other than that, you can't really get them no more. Which kind of sucks. I used to love using those things, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, what the hell was that? I just got hit from like nothing. That was weird. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the gist of it, you know? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Or if you have like a shotgun, you could also get easy hits because it hits multiple times as well. Just a little tip. I'm sure everybody, or most people at least, know that. That's the easiest way to get 10K quick. Also, if you can't afford metal, like if literally you get started in the game and you can't afford metal, and you want to get metal or something, there's not really too much you can do about that except for this. You can kind of do it this way. This has been in the game for a while to do it. You go to one of the cars like this one over here, just kind of set up a quick little wall, you know, a corner. Wow, why the hell is it going under the map like that? So pretty much you can just set it up like this, a little corner behind the car. Make sure it's behind the car, because if it's in front of the car, that will get blown up from the damage. But when the cars blow up, they don't damage you. They'll push you back. So if the wall's not there, you'll go flying off the cliff. Bro, why is it hitting the wall on me? Like, I'm not even near the thing. But yeah, all you gotta do is pretty much hit the car, and you'll get metal. And the wall will stop you from going flying off. You just continue to hit it because it instant respawns, you know? And again, you could use the PlayStation button while you swing your pickaxe, hold the PlayStation button in and let go of everything while the quick menu's up, and it'll auto-farm, you know? That's all you really need. Either that or the USB mouse, you can do the same thing. Hold the left click in and just shut the mouse off, and it'll just keep shooting or swinging, you know? That's it. That's all there is to it. Simple. And if you notice, like, I damaged this wall, but if you notice, this one still has full health. Just don't put spikes on them. If you put spikes on them, it'll damage the car and break it and blow it up. But yeah, like, you know, aside from everything that I went through in this video, like, there's like tips and tricks obviously, but that's mainly it for what we're doing. There's not too much else. As you can see, you get a little bit of cubes, you get a little bit of money, you know, eggs, and all that from the chest, and you also get some loot, which you can also like choose in between if you see something you like. So it's like a win-win-win. Of course, me being me, I bought all my eggs that I could early for the raptor eyes, so I could do the gotcha. So because I bought pretty much all the eggs I could for the raptor eyes, it says they're infinite, but they're really not, because once you throw them down, just like the money, it goes by what you have in your inventory. It's just a visual glitch. So like, if I split this, and split it, and split it, and split it, and split it, and once it gets under a number, a certain number, see, it's not visual no more. And yes, this cost a hefty amount to get the raptor eggs. They were a lot of money to get that. A lot of sun. But it's worth it, obviously. But what else are you supposed to do when you're at endgame? You don't really have too much to buy, you know? You just get what you want. But yeah, that's all there is to it, to the video. I mean, aside from that, there's not really much more to say. can alter this as you see fit as well, you know, like, for instance, these right here that are below and around, you can also go like this if you really wanted to, just for the hell of it, to get more kills sometimes, like for Blood Moon. You can just put like poison traps, but you would have to do it before the turret's down, like pretty much before you put the turret down, you put it first. And then with these, you can put those. Makes it simple, you know? Like I said, they're not needed. It just, you know, it's a little bit extra. Oh yeah, one other thing I like to do, just out of habit. I mean, you don't, obviously this is like completely irrelevant. Nobody has to do this at all. This don't affect anything. It's just something I've always done from the start. Oh, it's not gonna let me now. It's gonna call me a liar, huh? Used to be able to put, like literally just yesterday, I could do it still. Used to be able to put like one metal piece right in this doorway right here and spike it. I mean, it's whatever. Not a big deal. Sometimes it lets you, sometimes it don't. It's very weird. What the hell was that? I know 192 prestiges is overkill. You only need 25. 25 is max prestige, by the way, for anybody that's wondering. So anything more than that doesn't really do anything. I just like the prestige sometimes because, you know, what else is there to do left on this game for me? Nothing, you know. So I just kind of like start from scratch, just for fun. Wow, that was stupid. He didn't even grab it. But yeah, with that being said, I'll end the video here. Hopefully this helps people and, you know, gives them ideas. Or, you know, helps them with their farming and stuff. Or maybe you learn something you didn't know. As long as it helps somebody in some way, that's all that really matters. That's what I'm aiming for. But originally I wasn't even going to release this, you know. I wasn't going to show anybody how to do this because every time, you know, something good comes along, it ends up being patched. But it's whatever, you know. I know a lot of people that end up struggling now that they have like Warsaw and the zombie overkill. So I shared it anyways, just to help people. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for, you know, checking out the video in general. Have a good day, night, or whatever it is, you know, for you. Peace.